There is a version of you that already exists. They wake up when the alarm goes off. They keep promises to themselves. They don't avoid hard conversations. They don't waste hours escaping their own life. You've met this version before, usually late at night, when the day is quiet, when tomorrow still feels possible. You imagine waking up disciplined, focused, clear. And for a moment, it feels real. Then morning comes, and the same old patterns take over. This is not because you are lazy, not because you are broken, and not because you lack potential. It's because the gap between intention and action has not been crossed yet. Why this gap exists? Most people think change happens when motivation arrives. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Change happens when you act without waiting for motivation. Your mind constantly negotiates with comfort. Start tomorrow. You're tired. One more scroll. It won't matter today. This inner dialogue feels harmless, but over time it becomes a pattern, and patterns create identity. The gap grows not because you don't know what to do, but because you keep postponing discomfort. You are already changing, just not deliberately. Here is the truth Stoics understood deeply. You are changing every day, whether you want to or not. Your body adapts. Your habits reinforce themselves. Your thinking patterns harden. Your tolerance for discomfort either increases or shrinks. The question is not if you will change. The question is, who is directing that change? Left unmanaged, life shapes you by default. Stoicism exists to prevent that. Why becoming your best self has nothing to do with perfection. Stoicism does not ask you to be flawless. It asks you to be honest. Honest about where you are. Honest about what you avoid. Honest about the promises you keep breaking. You cannot improve what you refuse to see. And self-hatred will not save you. Stoics understood this clearly. You cannot hate yourself into discipline. Real strength begins with clarity, not punishment. Acceptance is not giving up. This is where most people get it wrong. Acceptance is not surrender. Acceptance is orientation. If you are lost and refuse to admit it, you wander in circles. The moment you say, "This is where I am," movement becomes possible. Acceptance gives you solid ground. From there, action has direction. Why honesty feels uncomfortable? When you look clearly at your life, your habits, finances, relationships, health, your mind wants to escape, to blame, to justify, to distract. Stoicism teaches you to stay, because discomfort here is temporary. Avoidance lasts years, and years of self-deception cost far more than a moment of truth. Your freedom starts. Here, Epictetus said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." You cannot change yesterday, you cannot rewrite your past decisions, but you have absolute power over what you do next. That is where freedom lives. Not in wishing, not in imagining, but in action, guided by truth, not with motivation, not with guilt, but with clarity. You are not behind, you are not broken, you are standing at a starting point, and the version of you that feels distant is built by what you do next, not by how inspired you feel. Every day, there is a silent conflict happening inside you, not between you and the world, but between who you know you should be and what you actually do. The Stoics believed this inner conflict is the greatest source of human suffering, not pain, not loss, not hardship, but contradiction. You tell yourself you want discipline, then choose comfort. You tell yourself you want peace, then feed anxiety. You tell yourself you want growth, then avoid discomfort. This inner division drains more energy than any external struggle ever could. Why fighting yourself makes you weak. Most people believe self-control means force, forcing habits, forcing discipline, forcing motivation. The Stoics rejected this idea. They believed strength comes from alignment, not aggression. When your actions and values are misaligned, you live in constant friction. Your mind pulls one way, your habits pull another. This creates exhaustion even when your life looks easy from the outside, and exhaustion leads to avoidance. The Stoic insight about inner peace, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, but thoughts alone are not enough. Peace arrives when thoughts and actions cooperate." The Stoics taught that inner peace is not found by silencing desire, but by training desire to want what is good. When you want discipline, discipline stops feeling like punishment. When you want effort, effort stops feeling heavy. This is the shift. Why willpower keeps failing. Your willpower is unreliable. It depends on mood, energy, environment, sleep, stress. The Stoics knew this. That's why they didn't build their lives around motivation. They built systems, rules you follow whether you feel like it or not, habits that remove decision-making, routines that reduce temptation. You don't argue with rules, you obey them. This is how inner conflict weakens. Stop negotiating with comfort. One of the most damaging habits is negotiating with comfort. I'll start later. I deserve a break. Just this once. The Stoics saw comfort as a test, not an enemy but a challenge. Every time you choose comfort over values, you teach your mind who is in control. And every time comfort wins, the inner conflict grows stronger. The Stoic way to end the inner war. The Stoic solution is simple, but not easy. Choose your values once, then obey them daily, not emotionally, not perfectly, but consistently. When action becomes automatic, conflict disappears. You stop debating, you stop bargaining, you stop resisting yourself. Life becomes quieter inside. Why discipline creates freedom? Most people think discipline limits freedom. Stoics believe the opposite. Discipline removes chaos. It frees mental space. It reduces regret. It creates self-trust. When you trust yourself, you stop fighting yourself. And when the inner war ends, energy returns. The shift you'll start to notice. As alignment grows, guilt fades, confidence stabilizes, anxiety decreases, decisions feel lighter. You are no longer pulled in two directions. You move forward as one. You don't need to defeat yourself. You need to align yourself. The inner war is optional. Next in video, we will explore how Stoicism teaches you to master discomfort and why the ability to stay calm in difficulty is the foundation of becoming unstoppable. Most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid discomfort. They avoid hard conversations. They avoid effort when it feels heavy. They avoid uncertainty. They avoid silence. They avoid pain. And then they wonder why they feel stuck. The Stoics understood something that changes everything. Discomfort is not the enemy. Avoidance is. Every time you avoid discomfort, you reinforce the version of yourself that stays small. Why discomfort feels so threatening? Your mind is designed to protect you. It warns you away from pain. It pushes you toward comfort. It seeks the familiar. This was useful for survival. But in modern life, this instinct often works against you. The discomfort you face today is rarely life-threatening. It is psychological: embarrassment, effort, uncertainty, delayed gratification. Yet your mind reacts as if danger is present, so it urges retreat. The Stoic reframe: discomfort as training. Stoics did not view discomfort as punishment. They saw it as training. Just as muscles grow through resistance, character grows through challenge. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Discomfort is the signal that you are doing something meaningful. If everything feels easy, nothing is changing. Why comfort keeps you trapped? Comfort feels safe, but it is deceptive. Too much comfort dulls awareness. It weakens discipline. It lowers tolerance for effort. Over time, what once felt manageable starts feeling unbearable. Small challenges feel overwhelming. Minor stress feels crushing. This is not because life became harder. It is because you became less trained, choosing discomfort on purpose. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, cold exposure, simple food, physical exertion, silence, solitude. Not to suffer, but to remember, I can endure more than I think. This practice builds confidence that no external comfort can provide. When you know you can handle discomfort, fear loses its grip. Staying calm inside difficulty. Becoming unstoppable does not mean avoiding hardship. It means staying steady within it. The Stoics focused on controlling one thing only, their response. You may not control outcomes, other people, timing, circumstances, but you always control effort, attitude, discipline, interpretation. When you focus on what is yours, difficulty becomes manageable. The shift in identity. When you repeatedly choose discomfort, confidence grows quietly, self-respect deepens, excuses lose power, resilience becomes automatic. You stop asking, will this be hard? And start asking, is this worth it? This is the mindset of strength, why this makes you unstoppable. Most people stop when it feels uncomfortable, so if you don't, you automatically move ahead. Not faster, not louder, but further. Consistency through discomfort creates separation, and separation creates results. The life you want is on the other side of the discomfort you avoid. Discomfort is not blocking your progress, it is pointing toward it. Next, we will explore how Stoicism teaches you to master your emotions, not by suppressing them, but by understanding and guiding them. Most people believe emotions are something that happen to them. Anger appears, fear rises, anxiety tightens the chest, sadness pulls the mind backward, and when emotions arrive, people surrender control. They say things they regret. They make decisions they wouldn't make calmly. They react instead of respond. The Stoics saw this as one of the greatest mistakes of all, not because emotions are bad, but because unchecked emotions become masters. Why emotions feel so powerful? Emotions feel overwhelming because they are fast. They arrive before logic, before reflection, before reason has time to speak. This speed tricks you into believing that emotions are commands, but the Stoics made a clear distinction. An emotion is an impression, not an order. You feel anger. That does not mean you must act angry. You feel fear. That does not mean you must retreat. The feeling appears automatically. Your response does not have to be. The Stoic pause. The most important Stoic skill is the pause. A moment between feeling and action. In that moment, freedom exists. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily. He reminded himself, this is only an impression. This feeling will pass. This response is my choice. The pause weakens emotion's grip. Without the pause, emotion drives the body. With the pause, reason regains the wheel. Why suppression doesn't work? Stoicism is often misunderstood. It does not teach suppression. Suppressed emotions don't disappear. They resurface stronger later. Stoics believed in acknowledgement without obedience. You notice the emotion. You name it. You observe it. But you do not let it decide. This creates distance. And distance creates clarity, anger, fear, and desire. The Stoics paid close attention to three emotions in particular. Anger, because it distorts judgment. Fear, because it shrinks possibility. Desire, because it attaches happiness to outcomes. They did not aim to eliminate these emotions, they aimed to train their response to them. Anger becomes firmness without aggression. Fear becomes caution without paralysis. Desire becomes preference without dependence. This is emotional mastery. Why emotional control creates strength. A person who cannot control emotions is easy to manipulate. They can be provoked, rushed, pressured, distracted. The Stoics understood, self-mastery is the foundation of all power. When you stay calm while others panic, you gain clarity. When you remain steady while others react, you gain advantage. Daily emotional training. The Stoics didn't wait for big moments. They trained daily. They expected difficulty. They rehearsed adversity. They reminded themselves that emotions are temporary. This preparation reduced surprise, and surprise fuels emotional chaos. When you expect challenge, you meet it calmly. The emotional shift you'll notice. As this practice deepens, reactions slow, regret decreases, confidence stabilizes, respect grows, both self-respect and external respect. You no longer fear emotions, you understand them, and understanding dissolves their control. Why this makes you unstoppable. An unstoppable person is not emotionless. They are emotionally governed. They feel fully but act wisely. They do not let anger decide. They do not let fear steer. They do not let desire blind them. They choose deliberately, and deliberate action compounds. You don't need to eliminate emotions to master your life. You need to stop letting them command you. Most stress in life comes from fighting battles you were never meant to win, worrying about what people think, obsessing over outcomes, replaying conversations, fearing the future, regretting the past. The Stoics saw this clearly. They realized that peace is not created by controlling more, but by controlling less, specifically by controlling only what belongs to you. The Stoic line that divides everything. Epictetus drew a simple line that changes how you live. Some things are in your control, some things are not. That's it. And yet most people live as if this line doesn't exist. They exhaust themselves trying to manage other people's opinions, other people's behavior, timing, luck, outcomes, recognition. The result is constant frustration, because effort is being spent where effort has no power. What is actually in your control? The Stoics were precise about this. You control your actions, your effort, your values, your discipline, your response, your attitude. That's all. You do not control results, praise or criticism, external success, other people's choices, what happens tomorrow. When you confuse these categories, stress becomes permanent. Why trying to control outcomes breaks you? Outcome-focused living creates anxiety. You work, but worry about results. You speak, but fear reactions. You try, but obsess over failure. This splits your attention. Half of you is acting, the other half is judging. The Stoics believed this division weakens performance. When your mind is scattered, your actions lose strength. But when you focus purely on effort, clarity returns. The freedom of letting results go. Letting go of outcomes does not mean indifference. It means trusting the process. You give full effort, then release attachment to how it unfolds. This creates calm. You stop panicking mid-action. You stop self-sabotaging. You stop quitting early because fear whispers too loudly. You become consistent. And consistency is more powerful than intensity. Why this makes you mentally unshakable? When you focus only on what you control, criticism loses power. Praise doesn't inflate you. Failure teaches instead of crushes. Success doesn't distract you. You are no longer emotionally dependent on external events. Your stability comes from within. The Stoics believed this was true freedom, to act with excellence regardless of outcome. Every day, examples of Stoic control. You don't control whether people appreciate your work. You control whether you do the work well. You don't control how fast results appear. You control whether you show up daily. You don't control how others treat you. You control how you respond. Each time you choose correctly, self-trust grows, and self-trust compounds. Why this builds momentum? Momentum is not created by winning, it's created by reliability. When you know you'll act correctly, no matter what happens, fear weakens. You stop hesitating. And hesitation is the biggest enemy of progress. The inner shift you'll feel. As this principle sinks in, your mind feels quieter, effort feels lighter, focus sharpens, stress decreases. You stop carrying what isn't yours. And suddenly, life feels manageable again. You don't need to control everything to move forward powerfully. You only need to control yourself. There is a reason most people start strong but fade over time. They rely on motivation. Motivation feels powerful, but it is unstable. It rises when things feel exciting. It disappears when things feel hard. The Stoics understood this early. A life built on motivation will always collapse under pressure. That is why they built their lives on discipline instead. Why discipline is misunderstood. Discipline is often seen as punishment, as restriction, as rigidity, as a loss of freedom. But Stoics saw discipline differently. They saw it as self-respect in action. Discipline is not forcing yourself to suffer. It is choosing long-term alignment over short-term comfort. It is saying, I will do what I said I would do, even when no one is watching. Why discipline must be quiet. Loud discipline seeks recognition. It announces effort. It posts progress. It waits for praise. Quiet discipline needs none of that. It works in silence. It repeats the basics. It shows up daily without drama. The Stoics believed quiet discipline was stronger because it was internal. It did not depend on applause. And anything that doesn't depend on applause cannot be taken away. How discipline eliminates decision fatigue. One of the hidden benefits of discipline is simplicity. When habits are fixed, decisions disappear. You don't debate whether to train, you train. You don't argue about focus, you begin. You don't negotiate with comfort, you act. This removes friction from life. The Stoics valued this deeply. They believed mental energy should be saved for real problems, not wasted on daily indecision. Why small acts matter more than big ones. Most people wait for big changes. Stoics focused on small, repeatable actions. Why? Because identity is built through repetition. Each small, disciplined act is a vote for the person you are becoming. One workout doesn't change you. One focused session doesn't define you. One calm response doesn't transform you. But repetition does, and repetition requires discipline. Discipline creates self-trust. Every time you follow through, you send a signal to your mind. I can rely on myself. This self-trust is powerful. It reduces anxiety. It stabilizes confidence. It removes the fear of failure. Why? Because you know that, no matter what happens, you will respond correctly. The Stoics believed this inner reliability was more valuable than any external success. Why discipline makes you calm under pressure. Pressure breaks people who depend on emotion. But discipline does not depend on feeling. It functions even when motivation is low. Energy is limited. Conditions are imperfect. This creates steadiness. When others panic, you continue. When others hesitate, you move. Not faster, but more consistently. The discipline that changes everything. Stoic discipline is not extreme. It is sustainable. It respects limits. It values rest. It avoids burnout. It is not about doing everything. It is about doing the right things every day. This is how momentum is built. The shift you'll notice. As discipline becomes routine, excuses weaken, focus sharpens, confidence stabilizes, identity solidifies. You no longer rely on bursts of effort, you become reliable. And reliability is rare. Motivation starts journeys, discipline finishes them. If you want to become unstoppable, you must become consistent. At some point in life, hardship arrives, not as a lesson you asked for, but as a test you cannot avoid. Loss, failure, rejection, uncertainty, setbacks that undo months of effort. Most people see adversity as proof that something has gone wrong. The Stoics saw it differently. They believed adversity is not a punishment, it is training. Why adversity feels so personal? When something goes wrong, the mind immediately reacts. Why me? What did I do wrong? This shouldn't be happening. These thoughts make adversity feel personal, as if life is targeting you. Stoics rejected this interpretation. They understood that difficulty is neutral. It does not arrive with intention. It does not carry judgment. It simply exists. What gives adversity power is the story you attach to it. The Stoic reframe: obstacle as opportunity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The obstacle on the path becomes the path." This was not poetic language. It was practical. The Stoics believed that every obstacle contains something useful, a lesson in patience, a test of discipline, an opportunity to practice calm, a chance to strengthen character. Adversity exposes weaknesses that comfort keeps hidden, and what is exposed can be improved. Why avoiding hardship makes you fragile? A life protected from difficulty feels safe, but it creates fragility. When discomfort is rare, tolerance is low. Small problems feel overwhelming. Minor setbacks feel catastrophic. Unexpected change causes panic. The Stoics warned against this. They believed strength is built through exposure, not avoidance. Just as muscles weaken without resistance, the mind weakens without challenge. Training the mind through difficulty. Stoics practiced mental resilience daily. They imagined loss. They rehearsed failure. They expected hardship, not to become pessimistic, but to become prepared. When difficulty arrives unannounced, it shocks those who never trained, but those who expected adversity meet it calmly. Preparation reduces fear. What adversity teaches that comfort never will? Comfort teaches maintenance. Adversity teaches growth. Through hardship, you learn what truly matters, what you can endure, where your values stand, who you are under pressure. Adversity strips away illusion. You see yourself clearly, and clarity is power. How to respond stoically to hardship. The Stoic response has 3 steps. 1. Accept what has happened. Not approval, acceptance of reality. 2. Focus on response, not blame. Blame wastes energy. Response builds strength. 3. Extract value. Ask, what is this teaching me? This approach transforms adversity from a burden into a tool. Why this makes you unstoppable. Most people break when life becomes difficult. They quit, they complain, they collapse inward. If you remain steady instead, you gain an advantage automatically, not because you are stronger, but because you are trained. Stoicism does not eliminate pain. It prevents pain from turning into suffering. The inner shift you'll notice. When adversity becomes familiar, fear weakens, confidence deepens, patience increases, resilience stabilizes. You stop asking, how do I avoid hardship? And start asking, how do I use it? This is the mindset of unstoppable people. Hardship is not what stops you. Your interpretation of it does. When adversity becomes training, nothing is wasted. At the end of this journey, something important becomes clear. Becoming unstoppable is not a moment. It is not a breakthrough. It is not a dramatic change others can easily see. It is a way of living, a quiet shift in how you think, how you act, how you respond to life. The Stoics never tried to dominate the world. They focused on mastering themselves. And that mastery changed everything. Why most people never become unstoppable? Most people wait. They wait for confidence. They wait for clarity. They wait for motivation. They wait for the right time. The Stoics did not wait. They acted from principle, not emotion. They understood a simple truth. If you wait to feel ready, you will spend your life waiting. Strength is built through action, not before it. The Stoic identity shift. At some point, you stop asking, "How do I feel today?" and start asking, "What does my character require?" This is the Stoic identity. You no longer live from mood. You live from values. You don't train only when motivated. You don't speak honestly only when comfortable. You don't act with discipline only when it's easy. You act because it aligns with who you are becoming, and alignment creates power. Why this way of living is unshakable. External life is unstable. Success comes and goes. People change. Plans collapse. Circumstances shift. But when your foundation is internal, you remain steady. You focus on effort, not outcome, on response, not reaction, on discipline, not desire. This makes you difficult to disturb, not because nothing hurts, but because nothing controls you. What changes when you live this way? When Stoic principles become habits, decisions feel clearer, emotions feel manageable, setbacks lose their power. Confidence stops depending on praise. You trust yourself, and self-trust is the rarest advantage of all. People who trust themselves don't panic under pressure. They adapt. Why this is true freedom? Freedom is often misunderstood. It is not doing whatever you want. It is not avoiding responsibility. It is not escaping discomfort. The Stoics believed freedom meant this: you are not ruled by fear, emotion, or circumstance. You act deliberately. This freedom is quiet, but it is absolute. No one can take it from you. Living with calm strength, the unstoppable person does not rush. They do not need to prove. They do not need to dominate. They do not need to impress. They move steadily. They accept difficulty. They face discomfort. They adjust when necessary. They remain calm when others react. This calm is not weakness, it is control. The final Stoic truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This is the heart of Stoicism, not theory, not motivation, not endless planning. Practice daily, quietly, consistently. Where this journey ends and begins, this series does not end with perfection. It ends with responsibility. You now know what creates strength. You now know what weakens you. You now know where control truly lies. The question is no longer what Stoicism teaches. The question is what you will practice. Because becoming unstoppable is not about never falling. It is about always standing back up with clarity, discipline, and calm. And when you live this way long enough, life may still test you, but it will never break you.